All right. So this will be number 8.
Number 8, good.
But yeah, thanks for coming and just like being a part of the first like little bit. So I was trying to think of this before. Like where do you remember me from first?
Fitness.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Sales rep.
I remember when you guys came in and started like buying stuff for the gym.
Yeah, with Sarah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did you? So I guess like obviously a lot of the guests that I have coming on, I know really well, and just naturally some of the feedback is like everyone else doesn't. So without making it too formal, introduce yourself.
William. So Cory and I own Fitclub Bootcamps, so another gym in the city. I walked into Flamand Fitness, and that's where I started buying some equipment because I lived around the corner there. Yeah. So I just lived 2 seconds from there, so it was the first place that I started putting.
They're gone now.
They're all gone. Yeah, I've watched all the gym stores pretty much go through an overhaul. But I used to work at TD Bank for 9 years and started the gym at the same time. So I was doing the bank full time. I was prepping for a show, and then I was running part time. I rented hours on the turf at my current location and did group training.
Really?
So I just went up and down my Facebook list.
So when you were getting that equipment from there, that was when you were starting?
Yeah.
What year was that? Because like
we're in almost year 10 now. So
yeah, that makes sense because I'm almost on year 7 here.
So I was going to say it's like 7-8 years ago that I started buying equipment with some of the money just to help the group training. So the old owners of the gym weren't really motivated to make it into anything. Yeah. And I was the only one bringing in people, and Sarah had rented from them. So then what happened was the lease I took over. So one of the guys bailed, disappeared, screwed some people over. And then I bought half the gym equipment and took over half the lease from another owner. And then in came Mike. I don't know if you know Mike Mass or Mike.
Yeah, I do.
So interesting relationship. What didn't go very well.
Yeah.
And then he disappeared. So then people were trying to come after me for what Mike did, thinking I would give them money. And I was like, I'm just half on the lease. Like, I don't know, whatever.
Keep me out of it.
Right. So Sarah then came into the partnership on the lease. So we were a joint liability, and she did her whole program in the gym, ran her personal training.
There?
No. And
actually,
then
I knew that. I know.
So she bailed. She did a bunch of different stuff. And then when it came down to the lease renewal, so we spent 5 years there. Jointly together. 3 of them, I think, were on the lease name.
Yeah.
And I pretty much just ran it all, and she just got to come in whenever she wanted and paid rent.
Yeah.
So I paid the other half.
Yeah.
And we ran separate businesses. And then it kind of went a little bit to the wayside. She wanted the same money she paid for the equipment 3 years prior. And I was like, well, you can take it. And then there was a big stink there. So then people were trying to get money from me for that. And I said, I just don't want to buy it for that price. Yeah. I have the other half of the same stuff, and it's not worth it.
I wouldn't sell it for that to myself.
Exactly. So I just don't want to buy it.
Yeah.
And so then it just became me, and then ushered in a new partner in 2015. Was it 2015? No, 2016. And then by the time the kids were born, I was doing a lot of the work, and we had a conversation, and that's when that partner left. It's just been me since 2017, and just running the show and growing the business.
Do you like it that way?
Oh yeah.
Same. Like I'm solo here too, and it's I guess you had a little bit more years on me, but like it's funny that because
you left the shop to open your own.
Yeah, I kind of did it at the same time, and like it was a good transition because I could get good discounts on the equipment there, some good discounts, and then I for me it was like I was driving, I was looking at places, I always wanted to do it because I was like, Flaman's not like obviously don't want to be here forever. No. And I was looking at a spot, and I lived downtown at the time. I was looking in White Oaks, and I drove past this building on my way home from like the last meeting of the other place, and this was 2015. Mm-hmm. And then I drove past this building that said for lease, and it was just like I was like, oh, let me call, like, let me see
from the street. It looks like a hole in the wall.
Yeah. And then I called them, and it was like the best thing, and it was like I originally had 6 trainers that were like, I guess I convinced or were friendly enough to jump on board with me as far as like essentially I had this space at the gym. This was what rent would be. I would make my living just like the trainers. So at the very beginning, I set it up to be like, probably too fair, but at the time it's really what I wanted anyway. So I took, rent divided by 7 people and everyone paid that. And like, that was that. And then we just slowly like got equipment, and then obviously slowly expanded, but I've never done like the group training stuff like that. It's always been like one-on-one private. And then obviously now with like the private memberships, but it's funny how like we both kind of had the same paths, but like, different structures.
Different structure for sure. Yeah. Like in the gym setup is interesting at our place, a little bit different than anywhere in the city. So we've expanded throughout the pandemic. I opened more space. But what we have is 4,800 square feet of open gym space that is the group training side.
And that was the first, or that was the most recent? Yeah,
that was the first one. We started there, but originally it was the outside of the gym where it was like 5x7 mats around it. That was all the personal training.
I saw those pictures, and I remember that.
So everything was going on the outside, but then you had like 15 people on the turf on the inside doing the group training. Yeah. So you had music. People's playing music. Everybody wants something different. Everybody's barking at each other, yelling. People are PTing in the corner. It was just a mess.
Yeah, but it's funny because like that you just make do with what you have. Yeah. Like that's like us, man. If you see pictures, it's like no rubber mats, concrete floors. Yes. Like you had like makeshift things, and like we just
kept buying
with
stuff.
What you do.
As money came in the door, we'd buy. Never went into debt. Nothing like that.
Same. I always just bought it as it came up, and like just slowly
people accepted
evolved.
It.
Yeah, and people like are down to support if you're doing the right thing, and then. I find that like a lot of those people that were there then are still here now, and they just like see the transition. And
they've been along the whole journey. Yeah. It's really cool when you see that, and we've had people like I was talking last night in the class. I had this one guy. I said I've been here for 10. He's been here for 7.
Yeah,
and we like know each other really well, right? He's just supported the whole time. So then the transitions just kept coming. So then I expanded. I was like to the landlord, I'm like, I need more space, right? And he's like, well, I don't have any more. So then I started looking, and I went across the street actually where Signature Graphics is now, but I put a deal in, and I was ready to sign. So we were all meeting up for the signatures, and then like a third-party partner from Toronto looked at the deal and said, oh, it's a gym, and he kiboshed it.
Oh, no way.
He said they're not very reliable.
Yeah.
I'm like, I get it.
Yeah, I get that.
But that's not me. Yeah. Like, here's my books, here's my statements, here's everything. Like, it's there. We're successful. So anyways, it was a big leap because I was going like 2,200 in rent up to like 7,000.
Yeah.
But it was like 3-4 times the space, and it would have been pretty cool to set up. I was excited. It had like this little L-shaped lobby entrance, had a big open room. It had side rooms that were all like office size, but probably like half of this room was each room.
Yeah.
It was a showroom for like hot tubs and spas.
Okay.
So they sectioned it all off, and I was like, oh, that's cool. That's a practitioner.
Yeah, totally. You just put out,
$700 a month, $700 a month. I had all the rent covered before I even started my business in the rooms.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, this is a cool place.
Yeah.
Ready to sign. I'm like, I'll take a big step, and then they kibosh.
So like, what do you think? You think like, did it work out? I guess you're probably not going to say otherwise either way.
Right. Like,
but like, I've had probably at the time maybe not unrealistic opportunities, but opportunities that like were a lot more far-fetched.
Sure.
I thought probably not just like sound like it was good to go, but like, I'm like, man, imagine I would have got that building. Like, would it have been way better, or would I be in what space would I be in differently?
Yeah. Like I had an opportunity in a partnership that I was going to take, and then things kind of started unraveling even on that side, and some things started sounding like, whoa, this isn't really a partnership, and then all of a sudden the lease fell through, and I was just like, oh man, I dodged a bullet.
Because the partnership thing, like, did you always want to have partners? Did you find yourself like floating towards partners?
I think it was insecurity.
Yeah,
fear of being successful on your own, doing it on your own. So I was like, it's always easier with someone.
See, like I get that now because I'm sure there's times within this gym that I would have accelerated faster or gotten to different places had I had a partner because, basically not having a partner in the gym made me like entertain the fact of having partners in other businesses because you're kind of held accountable and stuff like that. But for the same reason, it's like insecure. I was like, I almost wanted to be completely solo because there was no chance for me to let a partner down or something like that.
It's the opposite feeling.
Kind of. I mean, I guess it's kind of the same, but yeah, opposite at the same time. So like, I never had instances where like I got screwed over or felt like I wasn't holding up my end of the deal or vice versa. Like, did you go through that a couple times before you're like,
I had
fuck
two
partners?
lawyers. I had 2 lawyers trying to call me and take me to court.
Really?
And for things I didn't do, I wasn't even responsible for. And then I defended a court battle that someone was coming after me for money that they lent to someone else that was involved.
So just luck of the draw, I guess.
It was just, well, I don't even know if it's luck of the draw. It was just, it was terrible. Like there was certain times, like I think a partnership yields some great things if you can find a great partner.
For sure.
But very rarely do you hear great partner success stories.
Yeah.
And to be able to quantify like what person does what and at what level and how much effort they're putting in.
Almost has to be unsaid type of thing.
Right.
Like,
but then the paper says they're split 50-50 or, 33% if it's 3. So I look around in other industries and stuff like that have partners. I think they work in specific industries more so than others, but I still think that the dynamic, like if I talk to anybody, for instance, I was talking to a friend the other day and they had jointly bought a building and then they had to go buy one out because when something comes to let's repair the roof, then all 3 partners or 4 partners don't agree, and then it becomes a challenge.
And you just have to buy one.
You got to buy them out
or whatever
to get it done,
or just be bitter. Or
so now you have a roof expense and a partner buyout. So I was super lucky when my one partner did vacate the business. He just left it as is. He took his clients, did his own thing, and then left me with the space.
You'd opt in, like kind of looking back. You just if there's stuff like that, you kind of hear Kilo. Kilo's here, not most. She's not here. Most of the time I've been doing stuff at night, so she's not here, but yeah, it's fine. What was I saying? Partner. Yeah,
just like with the partner and leaving the business and the opting out and the buyouts.
I don't remember what I was going to say. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Oh, so like, would you opt to hiring people underneath you way faster than like, because like you could just take as much as you could on yourself and then start delegating tasks.
Say the profit of the business is $150,000 a year. You're 75 to a partner.
Yeah, exactly. Versus
that's a $35,000 position.
Exactly.
Right?
Totally.
So you're now $40,000 ahead if you just hire out. So that's what I've done. Like we built a team. There's 11 of us on the team. And then I rent again to trainers just like you. So our gym is set up that there's 3 units side by side inside now. You can walk through the whole thing. It used to be separated because the landlord gave me the first unit because the people retired and went out of business. So I was inside on the end unit, and then I was teaching group. I'd run to the front unit outside to teach PT, and then back and forth running the business. So in the wintertime, man, it was the worst. Awful.
These are just questions that I come up. So like, you have a team. Is your team people working for you?
Yeah, they run the group program.
So trainers, like kind of.
They're all trainers. Some of them are groomed from members up to trainers. They know the program.
So outside of trainers, because I've had a few trainers over the years like work for Showtime. The rest have just rented, and that's kind of just been a learning curve for me. It's like, let's try it. As far as having an employee versus, or
it's hard to do
more of a subcontractor, I guess technically than like a renter.
You sell a contract client to them.
Yeah, but it's like so. What I'm getting at is like day-to-day operations. It's still just all you. Like those people are strict. Like you don't have a manager looking after managing the space, like managing the business.
There's one, Allison. She's like the operations manager. She does all the back end stuff, but she also handles a lot of the customer care issues and stuff like that. But she's an instructor as well. So she's a jack of all trades.
Just kind of added on to the
she does everything. She's like, she runs the business when I'm not there. Without her, we wouldn't be where we are.
And can you do you ever see yourself hiring someone to do the day-to-day stuff? Like, do you train? I train. You do still?
I'm on the turf teaching group. I'm teaching one-on-one. I got a full book.
Do you just enjoy that?
Yeah, I do.
I guess because like I don't, right? Like I not that I don't. I mean, I did it for a while. Like I did that full, like I opened the gym with the anticipation of making a living like everyone else in there. And it was like, I don't know if not to, because you obviously like want more and more and more as far as just like overall success. But I just found the time in the gym would start taking away from like time elsewhere, even just like growing the business. Maybe it's just an excuse because it
depends the business model.
Yeah.
Like, it depends what you're trying to grow.
True.
So for instance, like you've got here, you look at the business, you've got trainers that are training their clients. Mm-hmm. You run the supplement side of things. You've got your entertainment side starting up, but like, I don't fully know your business model. Like, where do you make your income?
So I have from the trainers,
right.
We have a wellness program now that's like doing really well. So that's like a one guy that's, has all his skills and assets that we've delegated for a wellness program, kind of like an active rehab type of, hands-on, like rehab side to it. And then the members.
So you make money off the private membership.
Private membership, again, the wellness too, and the trainers. Like now it's everything's running at full.
Right.
So until you get to that point, it's just luckily for me and probably for you, like I've been able to we started with a quarter of it, then we got the other 3 quarters as we grew and as we could expand. Like when the first side, I had the rent covered before I had it. When I expanded, I instantly had the rent covered for that. When I expanded again, I was like, I need to get, X amount of members to cover that side.
Right.
And that came really easy. And then we have the store. Honestly, the store came kind of with this space up here. So I had the store and I was for like a year, I wanted to rent it out to like a physiotherapist or a massage therapist. And they're just, unless you get super lucky and find the exact right person that's going to like kind of mesh with your building and just respect you, I guess.
Sure, yeah.
That kind of was like, wasted time trying to find that. And I was like, we bought, Jade and Josh bought the Hercs.
Oh, they did.
Out.
Okay.
So, they were gonna do a pop-up shop for supplements up here, and just until the inventory went out because it was a full store worth of inventory.
You bought all the inventory.
Yeah, from the 2 stores.
Right.
So then that sat up here for a while, actually, and then I think right around then COVID hit, or it had happened, and
that
then
happened before.
It happened I think it was like a year before COVID. So within that year, they got the supplements. They were selling it up here. We're going to do like official pop-up shops up here, blah, blah, blah. The kind of everything got put on hold. And I was like, that's right. So it was right at the beginning of COVID or a few months before COVID. I was like, do you know Andy Roth? He did a lot of he does like steel wood work.
Oh yeah. I've seen you tag it. He did a bunch of stuff for factory.
Yes. A lot of the stuff in factory, his stuff. So I was like, you know what, let's put a really nice store in downstairs, make it like nice and boutique. We have the members for it. And honestly, it didn't cost me anything in rent because we already had the space. So I was like, we'll put it down there, make an attempt at it. And like, if all else fails,
it do well now?
It goes, right?
Yeah.
Like
because your members
it's relative because there's no rent.
Yeah.
There's no employees.
Oh.
Me and Jade, like right now the store's open.
Sure.
But,
it's kind of like book by appointment to come buy your stuff.
Kind of, or like it's such a small community with the building itself that it's like everyone kind of gets it. But Popeyes is closed downtown. Spartans is closed downtown.
They shut them all down?
The S&H in Galleria is closed. Oh. So there's no supplement stores downtown now. So now we're starting to find like...
Other people are coming?
I'm like, how'd you hear about this? Or, you're the first one on Google search in the area of downtown.
That's
so
amazing.
That's cool, right? So getting back to that, like I was always able to scale up without stress of like covering bills, right? And then we'll kind of, I guess if you want to talk about this, the COVID thing is like, this whole facility is like built for COVID. So I don't know how much if I'm repeating myself or not, but when we had the only PT side, it was, I had a lot of clients saying, hey, can I like pay you an inflated price to come here and work out on my own without my trainer? And I was like, I can't do that just because it's a slippery slope that if one person does it, then, like it kind of takes away from the privateness of it all. So I was like, it'd be really cool to have a space where I could like just offer like 50 people a gym for them to go on their own, be 1-2 people in there at a time, and just.
What if they all show up at once?
There's 50 people though. It doesn't. It
just by natural.
Just by number's sake. Like it's like if
same with me. I got 150 plus members, and they don't all show up.
If Good Life has 2,000 members, none of them are. So the whole structure of this place is like built for COVID.
Yeah.
So it's like, and it's again kind of getting into like, I guess how COVID's affected your business and mine. It's like, I feel, well, I guess I'll let you answer this before I assume, but like, how did was it good or bad for business?
It has both elements. It's bad because you're not affecting your clients the same.
Obviously, there's no real like good way it could be affected, I guess. But like,
yeah, well, there is, because each time we went into lockdown, I repaired something major that needed shutdown. Like, it needed the time with no one in the space. So we just painted the whole gym. Yeah. So it looks beautiful now, and everybody loves it, and all that kind of stuff. So all that got done. We were able to expand the middle room of the space. So we just had it as overflow, but now it's a studio. I've got 9 spin bikes. So we can run spin, and then we can also do the virtual ride. So if anybody wants to pop in, they can go on, and it's part of the membership. So it allowed value to be added. So a membership increase and all that kind of stuff came through. It gave me an office. It connected the other units. So the PT studio is now inside the whole same spot. Yeah. So we just walk through. It gave me a back hallway to have my practitioner have her own office so she can operate and pay rent. It gives us a kitchen, a shower. It gave us so much stuff all within the pandemic because someone went out of business. So in that respect, it was good. The business has been profitable.
So I guess, do you have did you get, I think we talked about this while it was happening. Like, did you have flexibility, or not even flexibility, just like reasonability from your landlord, or not really?
I've never missed a payment,
but like,
he's never given me any help.
So that's like, I have an ultra realistic and I'm in a super lucky position where I've never missed anything like that. Exactly. But like I'm driving, like you said, so same with me. We shut down for the first little bit, that first like shock of COVID, and I ripped apart the gym for 3 months.
I remember it.
I would never been able to do that. Literally never been able to do that unless I shut the gym down for 6 months.
And then you're shutting like 6, 7, 8 people out of their livelihood.
And my own, like you can't, like, right? So I got a little bit of help from landlord, just being like, what can we do? And honestly, a lot of it just gave me the ability to pass it down to the trainers, so everyone kind of bit a little bullet, and then everyone else was able to like facility. They're able to like kind of, not stress about not having a place. And, everyone paid like a fraction of what their normal rent was, and kind of everyone won. And then the same thing, I could, kind of do a full 360 on the gym.
Gave you time to, because when you're working in your business, it's difficult. Yeah. You don't see the things you need to do to work on your business.
Yeah, totally.
So then removing yourself a little bit, and that's where I'm at too. So having people train a lot of the group stuff. Yeah. Even in this last lockdown, it was wonderful because I was training quite a bit. Like I was putting, I don't know, in 4 days I had over 65 hours. Right?
Man, good for you. Like business.
Like I'm a grinder, but that's my personality. Like I'll put my head down. Like for instance, the middle room had tile floor underneath. It had carpet glued to it. And it had rubber mats on top of it. Yeah. So in 6 hours, I had the whole floor pulled up. Yeah. Where it would have been, 3 days for a company to do it.
I get that, and I like that. Like here, like some of the stuff in there, looking back on, I'm like, why did I ever do that by myself? Sure. Why did I ever
But you learn. Yeah. Right? And you grow.
It kind
of. Then you make money and
then you do it anyways. And like I'm the same as far as like doing like the ridiculous stuff, putting up like, we got one of those squat rack 3 rig.
Oh things, the rigs.
And I put it up all by my, like, I'm like.
But that's a lot of cranky. Yeah.
And I was like in there for like 12 hours straight, like,
I get Jason. Jason Arnold? He does the builds for Fitness Depot.
Oh, yeah? Yeah. He comes in and
builds all my stuff.
Really? You just pay him cash or something?
Okay,
good to know.
He does all this stuff.
Good to know.
He comes in, does the repairs, some machines. He takes forever. Don't think you're going to get it done fast.
That's fine.
Yeah,
as long as you know what you're getting in.
He's doing a ton of stuff, but he does it all right. Yeah. He builds gyms.
So did you, like, I guess this is kind of, you can dance around, like, did you guys shut down completely each time?
We did shut down completely until the last time. This last lockdown, we went under the Mental Health Act and did some training. The second last lockdown, the last week we opened up, I did some clients that were like hurting. Like, they were reaching out and being like, Cory, like it's rough. Yeah. So I was like, okay, man, I'll take you. And then this last one, we didn't shut down the personal training, but we've always shut down the group. Yeah. Always.
It's tough because like even when I sit down and realize my situation and like compare it to like you guys or gyms that are like strictly, you know, like the CrossFit gyms that are strictly group
Open
or
group,
like maybe they're not, I don't want to be offensive to them. Maybe they're not, just that's my narrow-mindedness towards
they probably do
CrossFit
PT
gyms,
in there, but yeah.
I was like, it's totally different. Like if you have a group style setup, like there's no way around that. You got to basically, hard. But I know for us, like this last one, we stayed open. We didn't change a single thing.
Yeah.
And there was like nothing. And I know we've talked about this. Like I've had I got 13 bylaw people, their cards from over the last year of coming by. They didn't come by once this time. I don't know if they came by you at all.
I've never seen them once.
Really?
2 years.
I think at the beginning, because we have that 50 member facility.
Yeah.
So 50 so we have 50
Maybe
people.
That was on the radar.
We were full pre-COVID with 50 members. So obviously once COVID hit, it's like every single time there's a shutdown notice coming, it's like hundreds of emails in my email box saying, can I get a membership? Can I get a membership? Can I get a membership? So naturally all those pile up into a wait list because pre-COVID we were full. So it's like I could probably open 6 more gyms just based on the wait list, but I guess so.
Send them over to me, man. I got space.
If you need members, 100%. Like I've been looking at, absolutely.
There's strategies to actually sell those.
Really? Like I don't want to sell them. You can have them.
But you know what I mean? Like there's business kickbacks. There's stuff that we can do. Like we can talk about all that stuff.
I send emails to my waiting list, and I've been actively looking for gyms to put on there to go because I don't want to like, not to be a dick, but like the turnover in our members is so low that I keep 50 key fobs on my hand, or like I started with 50. I never got more.
Yeah.
Because if someone like comes and asks and is nice enough about it, I'm just going to be wanting to give them key fobs, and then 50 becomes 75.
And no one will have a spot.
Yeah. And it kind of like, it waters down the private feel to it. But getting back to the COVID thing, it's like when we first opened, when we first got locked down, it was so easy for me to like almost talk one-on-one with 50 members. Like if I have 50 members coming in one at a time on the hour, everyone more or less still gets their time in the gym because the 50 number is so relatively small compared to like what people...
It's a boutique feel, a personal training feel, a very exclusive feel. So and you set it up perfect.
So we had all of those people like, and then all the people that got told they were going to go on a waiting list or they couldn't, it's calling, right? So it's calling to complain. So that's when bylaw comes, is when you get a complaint towards you. Only. Like these guys that came told me, it's like, we don't come unless someone complains. So, it's like...
So you had 13 complaints.
Well, essentially. Over the years. For sure. Yeah, a little bit of both.
So people were disgruntled that they couldn't get a membership and said, hey, they're running a group. They're running still.
Yeah, and back then, it was even more so. Like people cared even more. People like, not that they're not today, but like a year ago, they were like, rat. Like whoever, I'm sure there was a lot of that going on. Yeah. So... But at the end of the day, we never...
Faced a fine.
They don't know what they're trying to find me for. I don't know what I'm trying to defend. So it's kind of just all like washed in the wind. But this last time we stayed completely open and you would have never known.
Well, I think we're in the field of making people healthier.
Yeah.
And we can beat that like a dead horse, right? Like,
totally.
We should have been open the whole time.
As long as you're like, it's weird because I see these gyms, not to name names, but like I know... 1 in 3 people that I talked to in the last month were driving down to Sarnia to go to Sharkies. Yeah. I'm like, I don't like, if you're a big gym and it's just a thing and you want to get as many members in there as possible, then sure. But it's kind of like, I could never bring myself to like double my membership rate or like compromise that.
Yeah. I could never do the gouging.
Yeah.
I haven't. Until January 1st of this year, I hadn't raised rates in 3 years.
Yeah.
At my gym.
Yeah.
Like I kept it at unlimited membership was $100. You can do unlimited group training. And then the personal training side, so that feeds kind of the personal training studio for all the trainers.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So even the trainers that rent from me that aren't part of the Fit Club, they just do their own thing. they get clients
totally
just by osmosis.
As everyone wins. And that's the thing too. It's not like you, like even with my guys here, like, or with Jade or people, the trainers that were under Showtime at one point, it's like, if I want to give as many clients to as many people as I can, it's like, it's not like we're trying to
all eat at the same table. So the same thing happens. So if a client goes to them, they just pay rent on that client all the time.
Yeah.
Otherwise there's a cap. So if someone brings in their own clients, they can train 100 hours. Anything over 100 is all their take.
Okay.
So $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
But if they don't make it, they pay what they've used.
And that's really like, totally
it's reasonable.
It's totally reasonable. That's what I am too. And I don't, and luckily it doesn't take that much to get to that point. Like the trainers they're charging fair rates.
Sure.
In turn, that's a decent income.
Sure.
So but if anytime like anyone's like not got there, it's just like, okay, well then let's do this month or whatever. Like everyone wins, but
you help them grow.
It's,
and some don't want to work that much.
Yeah, exactly. I found that too. Yeah.
Some of them want to be 50
part-time,
hours a month.
Yeah.
So that's 50 hours. If they're charging 60, 70, $80,
it's more than what they're making full-time somewhere else.
And if that's what they want to do, or they've got kids and it's a supplementary income or something, then I accept kind of all of that.
Yeah.
And it's a free for all. Like they come in whenever they want. They have a key to the spot.
Yeah.
Open the doors and work out.
Do you have, how many trainers do you have? Is that like that 10?
There's 10 type of thing. There's 9 trainers that rent and do their PT.
Yeah.
And then there's a group of 9 of us. There's 10, including Emma, and then a group of 9 of us that run the group side.
Oh, so decent amount.
Some of the group do PT on their own as well. So we do trade-offs. So the hours they work for me, it comes off their rent.
Do you find, trainers wise, do you get a lot of trainers inquiries?
Yeah.
Do you get any solid trainer inquiries?
Yes.
Like trainers,
the ones that are there now are solid. Are they all busy? No, like one is only there like $300 a month.
Yeah.
Another one's there like 500. Another one's 700. Another one's 1,000. Other one is full time, but it works for me as well. So we do trades and stuff like that. So quality trainers. I think our team now today is the strongest it's ever been.
Yeah. Same.
Like the education level, just the professionalism. Like I've gone through some trainers that, they don't treat it the same.
Yeah. No.
They're never going to love it as much as you do. It's your business.
Yeah.
But I think we're at a spot where everybody respects the space. The biggest thing is stop wearing your damn outdoor shoes indoor. You can't beat that.
We lose sleep about the same things on a regular basis.
The stupid stuff, right? It's like, guys, like salt stains, doing push-ups.
You guys allow chalk in there?
We do.
How much do you hate chalk?
Oh, I know. The handprints on the floor.
Everywhere. It's like, I get handprints on the most ridiculous spots. I'm what the hell?
Why are you touching that?
With chalk on your hand. Like, it's like, this is a hamstring curl machine.
Yeah.
Or whatever. It's like.
I do see those things and I pick them out and I'm like, oh my gosh. You definitely roll in your grave for those little ones. But at the end of the day, you're laughing about it.
That's the extent
of the problem.
And that's your responsibility of owning the gym. You can't
cleaner or whatever, it gets clean. You turn your eye on it.
Yeah.
Away you go. But it's a fun industry, I think. Like it's really rewarding, obviously. You see a lot of changes in people and you've made, oftentimes you forget that as the owner. It's like, okay, you drive into work and you're quiet and you're like, I'm in this because of that.
Yeah. It honestly, what really, I think, brought probably places like mine and yours together even more is like COVID. Like it's never been more evident. Like me and you, everyone knows that like health is important, but like it's like that community and just the community within like being healthy and like that you've established in your gym, that it's like
everybody supports everybody.
I have nurses, doctors, lawyers, and they're the ones saying, I need to come in here to keep going, and everything else is closed, and then that's what makes my decision like, oh, I can't shut these people out. Again, I have the ability to have more of a situation where I can feel like I can make the right decision to do that. If you have a group setting or a CrossFit style, I don't know why you keep using, if you have a group style gym, your hands are tied. It's like if 20 people want to come in together, it's just, you can't do it. But when you have that like such strong community, like having your back, and it's small enough that I feel I can manage it. It's like the easiest decision is staying open for
you're just doing the right thing.
Yeah, exactly.
At the end of the day, you did the right thing. Whether it's popular or not.
Yeah.
There's certain ones that don't think it is, and there's others that are thanking you for it. So
yeah,
we're kind of in the same scenario where it was optics that really made the decisions. So what it looked like to go against the grain.
Totally. And that's like, I think we had this conversation like on the very first time. It's like, I don't want to be the gym that said, like, that was our train of thought.
Yeah. We don't want to be a martyr.
Yeah. We don't want to be the people that are like, everyone else is closed and we're like staying open, taking advantage.
Sure.
And like a year and a half of it, it's like, I get that train of thinking, but
it changed.
It wasn't really fair, I guess. No. I guess when it kept happening,
well, it took food off my kids' plate. Totally. You know what I mean? It started taking things away from our life, and they weren't giving it back. Yeah. And we went back and forth on the grant money. We went back and forth talking. Like, you got yours, and I was waiting for mine, and I was like, well, what's going on? Like, it was ridiculous. It took forever.
Even the one that's supposed to be coming now, Jade's already got, and Josh has already got the email saying it, and I probably won't get it till the end of February saying, can you?
You haven't got the email yet. Have you? I got my email.
I haven't even got. I better check.
Flipped over. So you're on the back end now. They flipped the people that they screwed over the first time
to the front of the line.
Now you're in the back of the line.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess.
But they put a lot of money together in a very quick time for small businesses. If you were able to adapt and shift, and like we went fully virtual.
Yeah.
I spent $15,000 on virtual equipment.
Yeah.
And everything that we needed to get going up and running, and we went fully online for the group program.
Yeah.
Did everybody do it? Well, they did in the beginning. It sort of tailed off and it tapered, but every lockdown it was robust. So we started doing different programs to keep people accountable. And honestly, like I said, we've been profitable the whole time of COVID.
I think like everyone's in a different situation, but if you didn't adapt, like,
it's your own fault.
I don't feel bad for people who just complain about like, I'm shut down. It's like, well, I don't know. It's easier said than done.
It sucks.
But we put work there to put ourselves in these positions, or like put us in. I mean, if you work hard every day, you're going to figure out how to keep working hard.
Mitigate risk.
Yeah.
Like that's what I do every day. I'd say if you're a business owner, you are just mitigating the risk.
Totally.
And you're trying to put yourself in the best position to go forward and still sustain the lifestyle or whatever you want.
For sure.
Like I love working hard. I don't travel a lot. I don't really care for it. Mm-hmm. I build the community. I love golfing. I do that kind of sort of thing. You're a big golfer too and stuff like that. So I'm cool with, if I have to work 13 hours in one day, but then the next day I have 4 hours.
Yeah, totally. I'm the same.
And you work endless amount of
hours. It's like, totally. It's, it's not measured on how much you work, but how much you put into it and get out of it.
I did the math. Like if I did all my hours on the turf and charged X amount per hour, it's like $117,000 I earned in hourly wages. Mm-hmm. Right. But it doesn't look like that. It doesn't work like that. I don't even care for it like that.
Would you rather have that in your bank or like, 10 squat racks and half the income, man, and like, or not necessarily that's like one exchange for the other, but like it's in,
you own all the stuff.
Totally. That's exactly it.
That's kind of cool.
If in now 7 years from now, what's it all been worth? It's like, well, I own every single thing.
And it's made X amount of money for how many people?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Right? For sure. And that's the stuff that you just I overlook every day and kind of
you don't see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
If there's 10 trainers, and you're getting, I don't know, 4,000 or 5,000 in rent a month from them. So that means there's probably, average of 50 sessions per trainer. So 10 trainers, you're 500 sessions plus your own.
Yeah.
500 sessions times 60, 70, 80 bucks.
Yeah, totally.
That's a lot of money a month.
Yeah.
That's being
kind of like
generated because of you.
Back. Yeah, exactly.
Because of you.
Totally.
Because you took the chance to risk your tail and put the money out for rent, build a business model that was successful to sustain these people.
Totally.
And then also sustain your reputation for people to continue to come.
Yeah.
And now you can choose to grow when you want to. Mm-hmm. So like I'm in the same scenario where it's like, okay, now I'm venturing into, I don't know if you saw the Dusty Dad. Have you caught any of that yet?
No.
Oh my gosh, it's funny. So the Dusty Dad is a new thing that I have time to do now.
Okay, yeah.
So it's a social media thing. So it's just fitness demos. So I wear a wig. Okay.
Oh, I saw you dancing around in a wig.
Yes,
though. I didn't know. But is it on your own? Is it a separate?
It's going to be.
Okay, but
so I created a TikTok and I'm just starting out. I've got a little bit.
But like you would have posted it on your own one, right?
Instagram, my personal one. Yeah. So it's just the Dusty Dad does a fitness demo.
Yeah,
so
that's perfect.
And I do a fitness demo that's totally wrong and erratic and it has something stupid going on in it. And then I control it for the second part, do this.
Yeah.
I just find I'm in the fitness industry, I'm at a point where I've watched and learned and looked at so many educational ones that are phenomenal and I love them all.
Yeah.
But nothing out there is like
translates into something you want.
Like the average Joe that's kind of kicking around the gym. do they care, what muscle is moving? The small percentage do, right? The ones that dig into it in the back end. Most care about the result the movement creates.
Sure.
Right?
Yep.
So if they can move safely, that's why they hire a trainer. Just tell me what to do. How many times have you heard that? Just tell me what to do. Ian.
Learn the basics. Yeah.
I don't really care why I'm doing it, but what is it going to give me? What's going to give me
At the end of the day, that's the epitome almost, assuming most clients aren't in it to become educated at the end of it.
Right.
That's kind
if someone's going in the fitness industry and they want to have a trainer to coach them, yes, you're diving in. You're telling them all the eccentrics, concentric, all that kind of stuff, why this and that, and you dig in. But the average client just wants to feel good.
Yeah, definitely.
And comedy in the fitness industry makes people feel good.
Yeah.
And I love doing it. It's hilarious.
So
I've been trying to figure out what I want to do. And then I just did this hilarious voice.
Yeah.
And I did a one video. It took 30 seconds to shoot. And then it took 12 seconds to do the voiceover. And then it had 80 members laughing.
Yeah, right. That's perfect.
And I'm like, this is amazing.
Yeah, it's kind of like here. Who
knows what it goes into?
Yeah.
Who cares? You just got to keep doing it though.
Totally. That's the epitome of even this podcast. Yeah. This is here. It's this is something I've had this space now for 2 years. I don't put myself out there. You'll never see me talking into my camera or even really voicing
it's hard to do.
An opinion. But I feel for some reason I can sit across from someone and have a conversation. Most people can, but I don't see this being the same as telling everyone to go.
No, it's real. It's unscripted. Yeah. It's real.
So but it's also fun because it's purely based on fun. There's no metrics behind it. I don't care how many views, who listens, whatever else. It's all these people I just enjoy talking to and that's it. So kind of had I done this 7 years ago, it would have a completely different meaning. There'd be expectations behind it.
And 7 years from now, you might get there.
Yeah,
exactly. If it garners attention, of course, being a business mind that we are, we're going to see what it brings.
Naturally.
But it naturally comes.
Yeah,
exactly. You said it naturally will build into something. If you're passionate about it and you're successful in the past about everything, you want everything to be successful. And the metric of success changes as we get further along in our careers, right?
Yeah.
So success to you could be, hey, walking down the street, hey, you're HQ.
Yeah, totally.
That's who you are.
And what I said, the first thing I thought would be cool is if this becomes some sort of reputation where if something happens in the community, I have some sort of pull to get that person on or whatever, right? It's not cool. Pull, but that. I try to avoid comparing it to Joe Rogan as much as possible because it's just so cliche. But I mean, at the end of the day,
if you look up to what he's doing,
the patterns of it are so similar too, right? But that would be cool, just to and I'll be sitting back on this in X amount of time saying, maybe saying, man, imagine we could just interview someone local that was on the news, and it's who knows?
Well, you just got to ask.
Yeah, exactly.
And the thing about it is when people say I don't want to compare to somebody else, but I always look at it okay, so we've got Hal Johnson and Joanne McLeod. They did all those fitness videos. Eventually, they're going to be too old to do fitness videos. Yeah. So who's the next one?
Yeah.
I always thought I want to be a motivational speaker or just a talk, get out and talk to communities, and I have been doing that with United Way and different things. And I'm just Tony Robbins can't be Tony Robbins forever. Someone else is coming. Who's that going to be? Is it going to be you?
Yeah.
Or are you going to be a little bitch and bitch out on your dream?
Totally.
Right?
Yeah. And that's totally.
And who
that's
cares?
Exactly.
If it grows into something, it's so phenomenal. And if you want to be like Joe Rogan, I think Joe Rogan has a really cool podcast. Obviously, he's at 1,700 and something episodes. He's done it forever, and he's super successful. And if I look at a local guy and I give him a shout out, Justin Conoco from Prime Real Estate, right? He's done so many real estate videos.
Yeah.
Incredible amount.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, he wasn't super successful. Yeah. He just kept doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
And doing it. And now he's working with people all over the place. New York, he's working with Scott McGilvery. He's doing all this other stuff. He's super successful. He's a leader in the community. He's making an impact. He does a lot of back end stuff for charity. He does everything he wants to do. But what did he do? He created a community and a hub.
Yeah.
So he was one of the reasons why I'm in the fitness industry.
Yeah.
Because he told me I was working at TD, and he goes, "You're not supposed to be behind a desk pushing paper. I can't feel that." So then he's just do something. You got to figure it out. And it took a year for me to figure out what it was going to be. And then I started working out in the gym, and I was oh, I was that good life. I'm yeah, fine, I'm in shape. And then all of a sudden, because I remember you guys going into the dungeon in Adelaide.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's where
I know.
Crew hears
I watched all of you guys. I never really talked to any of you guys because, to be honest, you guys are big, intimidating.
For sure.
I was out of shape. And I'm just watching you guys work out in the corner and lifting everything under the sun. And then I remember Jade if I recall correctly, she worked at Jim Bob's. Was she a bartender back in her early days before fitness?
Yeah, but it wasn't Jim Bob's.
It was somewhere.
It was the one on. It was the. It was
GT's.
No.
But she was a bartender somewhere.
Right here in London. What was the long time ago? It was a strip club over Talbot by the Tim Hortons. Rouge.
Oh, Rouge.
I don't know if it was Rouge when she was there.
No, it was something else. That thing went through like different.
Yeah, I don't know what it was when.
Right, but she was a bartender, right?
Yeah.
So I remember her before.
Honestly, it probably could have been. There probably was like 5 different places in there that I just.
Or she was part of the because she's in the industry. I dated somebody in the industry, and then paths crossed somehow through. I think she was friends. Was she friends with Anita Pimentel?
I don't know.
Maybe before, but probably. But like. I remember, and then seeing them go into the workout, and then you guys were all there, and like I was just like watching, and like funny. Even like Regan Grimes was in that gym, in the dungeon, like he was down there,
like 16, 17,
as a little guy, right? So I lived in London. I moved here just for college, and that's when it kind of started, 2003-04. So that's when I started in London.
Okay,
and I remember the one old guy at Good Life, and he had the straight bowl cut.
Yeah.
He was like in his 60s, old bodybuilder. I don't know his name. Nicest guy, but he was always in those weightlifting workouts, chalk in his hands.
Why am I not?
But you know who he is?
Yeah, people are going to be like screaming at this.
Yeah, they will scream if they see this episode because they all know who. And I can't remember. I never met him, but I always heard him talking. He was lifting with all you guys.
Yeah.
He's like he's got to be 60s, 70s.
They were all power lifter style. Like they had the brick, the piece of wood on their chest for
absolutely
the bench presses.
We're like the tank tops before everybody did singlets and they were ripping their shirts and stuff. So that was when I got first kind of introduced to that world, and I saw you guys there, but I didn't know you guys, right? Yeah. But I knew Twom. Yeah. I knew Heather King. I knew them because Heather was a trainer there, and so was Twom.
Yeah, so was Nick. Yeah.
Yeah, because I would go there. I lived just down the street. Yeah. But we were also hardcore at Palisade above it.
Yeah.
Eating the chicken wings and getting wasted.
Exactly.
And then I'm like, but I got to go to the gym tomorrow. I was right underneath and just making a mockery of my life. I know. And I lived on William Street there.
Oh, no. I lived on William as well.
So I was like 880 William. So just around the corner on the north side of Oxford.
Further down.
Yeah. So I lived with 5 guys. And so we were all just hardcore partying. And I was trying to get in shape. And I was like, never getting any results. Because I'm just boozing my life away. Yeah. And then all of a sudden it hit. And I was like, fine. Then I jumped into the industry a year after I met with Justin. And it's just like, it's funny how like the world's kind of come full circle, and now we're in a more mature. We're both dads. Yeah. We both golf. We can relate and connect, and I find like in the world of the fitness in London, especially like the gyms, they don't really talk.
Not really. Yeah, like they
don't help each other. No.
Like maybe there's a couple, but like even the ones that I talk to, it's like. Maybe COVID kind of like, but I don't even like, I talked to you, maybe a few others, but no, totally. I don't know why. You think that's probably, you think that's the same from town to town?
I think it probably is.
Yeah.
Everybody kind of gets their own style. And I almost equate it to like if everybody in the gym industry has an ego and then it doesn't break down.
Yeah.
You don't get out of that persona or like, oh, I'm a gym owner.
I think though that I don't
talk to that gym because they could take my clients or something like that.
Yeah.
There's something.
But I think that there would be still a group of like, because we're talking about gym owners that like are, not to insult the ones that I say aren't, but like are above that would be.
I think it takes a bit to get there.
Yeah.
I think you got to be.
I think I maybe because I just naturally like don't network. Like I'm like
you're an introvert, in my little like bubble in your world.
And I mean, maybe
I don't know. The bar industry all hangs out from bar to bar.
True, right?
Well, the gym guys hang out.
Yeah, that's true.
Is it because we're like, is that how you deadlift?
You think so?
Right now? I don't know what it is.
Maybe. I mean,
maybe you look at how they teach it, and you're just like, no, I wouldn't teach it like that. So then you don't become friends with those people. Maybe we don't put our differences aside.
There probably is a lot. Like, maybe it's weird because I don't think you or I fall into that.
No, I don't think so either.
Like,
I'm a business builder before I'm a trainer.
100. I'd be doing a disservice to the real trainers calling myself a trainer.
Sure.
Even, I don't think, at this point, even for the last couple of years, I've been a business owner. I have not been a trainer.
Right.
And like, even then, like, so.
I like digging in with people and changing, because we have communication. Like, like the talks and getting people to open up their mind to see what they're able to do and stuff like that. And we do talk, like I deal with a lot of other business people.
And
they help me with my business.
And same, I think like you deal with them. How do you connect with them through the gym itself or just you going out? Point. Like, cause I know that like inevitably you too, like the amount of, I say I don't network. That's, I guess, a lie. I guess I have a cheat code. Having the gym, like these clients that come in, like but anyone who
100%,
anyone who's paying for these services, not that they're financially well off, often they are, but more so they see a value in it and that's important enough for them to do it. So maybe that's like a common ground, but so many people in here have like, I would not have the opportunities that I've had so far. And I'm sure the opportunities that are still to come if I hadn't have networked or met these people through the gym. You can never get a variety of people in like.
If you have a specific industry, people are coming to buy a specific thing from you, you're going to get those same people.
In and out, yeah.
In a fitness industry, you have everyone.
Yeah.
Like you have people that honestly struggle to pay for it, but they need to.
Yeah.
You have people that have more money that they don't even know what they're paying for and they don't care. Yeah. And then you have doctors, you have nurses, you have teachers,
students, you have the next, and it's all like
everybody.
Yeah.
And I always like I've done some business coaching with people and I've paid for some stuff, and they always try to get you into this like, what is your niche market or what is your target audience?
Yeah.
And advertise to those target audience. And I always sit back and I'm like, that makes sense. That makes sense. And then I sit back and try to make sense of it after. Like that doesn't make sense. Well, why would I want to help everybody?
Well, me and Paul, he was on last. We were just talking about this and like kind of niche and more specifically to the podcast. And I was like, I want my niche to be not having a niche, like being all the above. Sure. Like, and I think maybe it's an excuse, but I think that is a niche. Being like, like someone who has a niche is a hairdresser or does makeup can't open their show up to be an all of the above show.
Right.
I guess so going back into that, like how with it correlating with like fitness, like so your niche with the gym, you always want, why like maybe is the gym, because I often now find myself saying, that X, Y, and Z doesn't require a niche. Like gym doesn't require a niche because you want to help everyone.
In a gym setting, you have a number that you can service.
Yeah.
Do you want to service that many? Because does it fall in line with your values? Like, okay, if I grew to like 400 members, am I going to be able to connect with 400 members?
Right. No,
probably not.
Yeah.
So I have to grow the price point to a point that sustains my lifestyle, whatever I want, and then hit that target number. Yeah. Do I care who fills it? I just want people to understand that, like, if they're going to fill it and pay and be a good client, and yes, you have good clients. You have clients that don't appreciate what you do, and they go and come, and it's totally cool, and there's never offense taken. You always have that. People are looking for deals. Some people are looking for service. They all have different needs. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's like, I'm here to help who's willing to hear it.
Yeah. I guess as a gym, maybe your niche would be like being able to, like, do you have people on your team facilitate different niches? Maybe like, like one trainer, like as a gym, you probably...
No, because they're attracted to what your message is.
The same thing, yeah.
So like people come to me as trainers because of the flexibility and they have the opportunity to train like a child all the way up until...
Yeah.
Like I have my youngest, like I've had a 14-year-old all the way to a 78-year-old.
Yeah.
And they're all in there for different reasons.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely wouldn't want to niche it out in the sense of like athletes.
Right.
It's like...
I've seen gyms or trainers try to do athletes only.
Sure, and maybe you just that is yours. Yeah, you can't.
It's a long
I don't know,
time,
but you can't. You can't disagree with someone making a performance only facility.
No,
right? I guess like
all you can do is care about yourself and what you want to do and put out there. But I that one thing that always gets me when you go into business coaching is find out who your target audience is. And I said my target audience is anyone that needs help.
Yeah,
and that's it.
Yeah,
and if they're no longer needing my help, then they're no longer the audience.
Yeah.
And they'll find their way to someone that helps them.
Or back, yeah.
Yeah, and then maybe they do come back because they experience, maybe they realize, I wasn't done learning from there.
Yeah.
They can still offer me more. Or we added some more service, which is in line with what they want.
Yeah.
So we have people coming and going because we don't have boxing. Or we don't have, and we can't do it all. We can't do all the services, but we can do what we do really well for the people that want it. Totally. And I don't care who it is, man, woman, child. At least as long as you're, able to carry yourself and in a
Yeah, definitely.
A nice manner, respectful way,
contribute to the community.
You're good, right? Yeah. So I think the gym, I utilize it as, I call it the hub. It's a community where people come and meet, relate. One got married, one's had they've had kids from meeting at the gym, stuff like that. Yeah. So it's one of those type of places, and it's a cool little place because I find that when you own your own business, and then obviously it's better when it becomes successful, but it carries clout. Yeah. And it carries, a reputation that people, I've heard about you. Okay, I'm going to trust you. For sure. You have that trust. And then you have to work hard to build trust in them once you meet them. But I've never really struggled finding clients.
Us either. Like it's at all. Like anytime, there's dips and things, but
that always happens.
No one's ever been like failed because of lack of clients or, inquiries or whatever like that. Like everyone else has their, strengths and weaknesses, but I don't either. Anyone who,
I think if you worry about that, you fail.
Yeah. 100%.
You're freaking out.
Yeah. You got
where's the next dollar come from?
You
oh my gosh.
You got to set it up right. And if you build it, they will come. And like, if you're looking at something like it's going back to like where we started, like if I showed you pictures, you'd laugh, right? Like it was, I'm sure exact same. You'd be like, why the hell did people ever come here? Because they trusted you, because they believed in you, because of this and that. And like those same people are here still
trusting and believing.
It's like, looking back,
you could have had a pile of rocks, and if you designed a program around those rocks that were free, you just had a spot to do it where people could come, and they would come, right? If your mission and your goal and your brain was set on fire, and you were so determined to make something happen, you could do it with sticks.
Yeah. For sure.
You'd just tie stuff to the sticks. Yeah. And then once that made you enough money, you'd buy swords just get going like that. And then you build that business up. And we see I think a lot of people in business try to like throw it together really quickly. Yeah. Maybe they have seed funding, angel investors, whatever they may have, and they have all these advantages out the gate. But if you just can't build a community, you'll never be successful. You're constantly churning.
Yeah. Maybe that's what makes it emphasizes community that much more in those early years, is like knowing that people aren't there because you've like had this funding to build $1 million facility.
No one cares if I got a belt squat.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Do you have a belt squat? Like no one cares. Yeah. So it's a cool piece. Yeah. No one cares. It barely gets used.
Yeah, exactly.
No one cares.
It kind of emphasizes the importance on being true and building that community, because people, there's no other reason that people like would come here.
Do you know how many gyms are in London? 100 plus. Yeah. You do the search engine, there's 100 plus gym type physical fitness offerings in the city. Yeah. And it's a long list. And then we all have 4 to 5 stars, all of us. Yeah. Yeah. Right? To decipher who's the best gym in the city, you know, like that popularity vote.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's jokes. It's funny. Like you got your members to vote every day. The same members are voting as many times as they possibly can to win your silvers. And, kudos to them, whatever. I've never won it. Maybe I'm jealous. Maybe I'm not.
I don't even go that far. I see my name on there. I consider it a win. I'm like, I'm pretty sure Jay just submitted that the other day. Like,
like I see that,
but that's the thing. It's like you don't do it for like
the accolades.
Yeah. So maybe
it doesn't make me more or less successful.
Yeah.
But that's just it, right? It's a funny thing, but the business has definitely opened the doors to a lot of things. I've made a lot of good relationships by getting into the golf course. It's opened. So one of my old clients that I worked for at TD, he sought me out when I quit TD and knew I ran a gym.
Yeah.
Like, the people at the bank told me you opened a gym.
Yeah.
So can I come and talk to you at the gym?
Yeah.
So he's been for 10 years.
Since,
he's been talking to me.
Yeah.
And he just does, he lifts weights, but he wants to talk to me.
I get it. Trust me. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Some of the, I have a very, I get me specifically because I'm not, again, I'll call myself, I'm not a trainer. I still have 1 or 2 clients that have fair expectations, I guess, to sell myself a little short.
Yeah.
But, I selfishly get more out of those sessions talking, and because of the client that it is in particular, it's a therapist, like for me, and like not every client's going to be able to provide that. Not that you're seeking out to provide that, but I have like some of the most insightful conversations I have are with that particular client, and it's just like and him too, we have progressed in our own businesses just based on this, hour that we have every day together, where like, obviously we don't like, I try and like give him more than what, he expects, because it's, as a trainer or pretend trainer, you still don't want to like,
you're not a pretend trainer.
You still don't want to like sell, not give the client what they're
paying for a service. So. Yes. And he comes in and works out and he's like, Cory, that one exercise we did the other day really got my quads on fire. I don't know what we did. And I'm like, well, and in the back end, I know what we did. We got it all written down. I'm tracking as much as I can. He has no idea that's all happening.
Yeah.
But the conversations that it creates is really cool because you learn from him. He's an old car salesman. He ran dealerships, right?
Yeah.
But he just has all this insight to life.
Yeah, totally.
And he like shares books with me to read. And
totally. And everyone else's clients too. Like that's just, again,
it's a cool thing.
Part of that community. So
I don't think I'd change it. If I look back 10 years, I wouldn't change the path.
Not as for a second.
It's a cool, rewarding business. Is it hard? It's not for everybody. It's hard. But
you golfing? Did you golf that much last year?
Yeah, I played a fair bit. Yeah,
Fuck, I'm like
just down the street from it.
I'm like having such a hard time this year committing to doing it again, because like last year out of 10 years, I've golfed substantially less. Like in July, August, September, I probably golfed 3 times. And that was my first year with the membership at...
when it locked down, I was pumped to golf. And then I have triplets, so I don't really get to golf as much.
Yeah, so that's what I mean.
I feel like I'm golfing a lot, so it's
it wasn't even like because of Tatum necessarily. It was just like an odd, we were away, and then it was catch up for a week, and then it was away again.
Well, then we were open, close, regroup, do all this stuff. It was a wild time.
I'm like battling right in that check right now. I probably will. I mean, I can't see myself not, but like it just means I have to try that much harder to get out that much more. But
I get a lot of business from it.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
See, maybe I need to like figure that out, because
I'm on the floor more though. Like I'm in a trainer role more than you are, so I get a lot of clients, and we love talking golf, but training golf stuff.
Oh yeah, okay.
But I love golf so much.
Okay, so that
and I'm a decent player. Like I'm a 1.2 handicap. I'm not like the best at Highland. I've won the A flight, but I'm not championship flight winner yet. I'm gonna win, but just haven't done it yet. But it's like I get clients through that.
I gotta figure it out. Yeah, with having that avenue of like just
and I hit the ball a long way, so they all wonder how. And it sells. Everybody digs the long ball.
Yeah.
Really.
Oh, for sure.
So it sells, but
that goes back to me like. Maybe I'm not. I got to figure out how to like get out of my skin and network. Like
I'm an outwardly person.
Yeah,
like I can have these conversations with strangers. Like we don't really know each other a lot, and I'm pretty comfortable around you. Like we get each other.
I guess I could. I you know what I mean though. I'm not like I could never see myself pulling a client from the course.
No.
But I don't know why. I mean, I could, but like it just
I get made fun of on the golf course because of my lats.
So do I.
Yeah,
same. Like
you're worse than me.
I like go and it's just like
be busting out of your shirt. Right? I'm not that far,
but I'm like,
I don't want to get there.
But like the last thing I want to do, honestly, the last thing I do is like when I'm a business owner. I don't even like. I feel like I don't want them. I don't go up to them and say, I own a gym, personal training, and this. They're like,
tell you. Don't they ask you what you do?
Yeah.
What do you say?
I'd say I'm a. I own a bit. Like
no, try it. Try it for me this summer. Try using, because I own a gym.
Yeah.
That's it. Don't even say, no more I'm a business owner, because you're more than that. But just say you own a gym.
It's
and then start tallying up how much revenue you get from that one line.
Really? Yeah, I should. You know what? I should. I mean, why not? Like, it's not like I'm against anything of it, but it's like
easily over 20,000 a year in revenue.
I should. You're right. I feel like.
Oh, I own a gym.
That stereotype is like.
I wear the hat. I got Fitclub on my hat. I have golf shirts.
So do I. I might have one if you want one.
Yeah.
It's showtime.
That's what it is.
I know.
And then they do the rest.
I know.
But you offer value. And even if you have trainers here that will train them, just get them in the door.
Totally. I get it. That's one flaw or like thing I need to figure out is how to like. Be proud of networking. It's not that I'm not proud. I'm not. I don't want to say that and like you get the
not
idea that I'm ashamed of it at all. But like
you're not.
I'm walking. When I walk up to the gym and when I walk up to the, I guess this is what it is. Kind of to break it down. When I walk up to the tee box, I don't, as this bigger guy, hitting it pretty far.
Yeah.
I would want I would want them to look at me as like.
a far hitting golfer.
A successful, far hitting, like, but a business owner, like a bit versus like a stereotypical
but I love
gym owner.
I eat that up because it's so funny, man.
Even saying it out loud, it makes total sense. I don't know why.
I eat a sandwich on the golf course and they're like, can you eat that?
yeah.
I'm like, yes, I can eat that. Look at me.
Yeah.
And then they're like, I probably shouldn't eat it. I'm like, I don't know about you, but
true.
I could help if you really want it. I could help you learn that it's okay to eat this stuff.
Yeah.
And then they laugh.
Yeah. And then they give you their card.
It's so awkward. And they're like, they're ribbing me. And I was in a tournament and I hit on a hole-in-one hole in, where was it? Of course we were playing. Oh, St. Thomas Union.
Yeah.
So whatever that par 3 by the clubhouse, I think it's number 10.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, so it's just a short one. There's always the hole in one hole. And then one guy in the back is like, who's the lats on the tee? And I'm just...
you just pulled away your 9 iron, grab a driver.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know who this guy is. He's not, he's not in shape at all. But he's the guy ribbing me.
Yeah.
And then he ribbed me the rest of the day.
Yeah.
And I'm just like... I laugh it off, and I'm like, yeah, I have the lats because I own the gym.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, I get it.
Yeah,
now.
See, I get, yeah, right.
And I'll be cheeky back with them, but that's my personality. It's not for everybody, but honestly, it's super easy because if you just say that and you don't ever ask them to come, they'll come.
Yeah.
You built it. Yeah. They look at, oh, what's showtime?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, shit, it actually is decent.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, maybe he is a good business owner.
Yeah, right. He's not just something like,
Yeah, and then all of a sudden... they just call you up and be like, hey, man, I'm looking for training. Like, I just had it yesterday.
Yeah.
A guy I golfed with in the dad club tournament.
Yeah.
He says, oh, my wife's messaging you. She wants to lose X amount of weight, that kind of stuff. I've never sold them on anything. I just own a gym. And they know I own a gym, but then we're connected through golf and they know I'm a good golfer. So he respects me because of that.
Totally.
And then all of a sudden it turns into, oh, you own a business now. I'm respecting you for that. Here's your referral.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. I guess that's happened, but
all I say is I own a gym.
Yeah.
That's my line.
That's funny.
That's it. Try not to brag about nothing. It's a business.
Yeah.
It's successful.
Yeah.
We've done really well. I'm proud of it. I've worked really friggin' hard.
Anything else? You got anything like business wise? Like here, I got asked this question from someone that's pretty successful. What would your perfect day look like? What would your perfect day look like? Meaning, if you've accomplished everything you've ever wanted, like if you had all milestones in one day type of thing, like I answered the question by wake up in the morning, like a perfect day as far as my day being scheduled at this point in time. And then he said his perfect day was like doing all these huge milestones, but so like
all in one day.
Yeah.
Like if you were to ask me that, my first reaction would be like, wake up, have a good breakfast. I would be on the golf course.
Yeah.
I would be part of it. I'd probably work a little bit on the business, and then tap into something that I'd be growing. Like I love
a new project.
I love that. I don't need to be on a beach. Yeah. I don't need to be doing any extravagant things. I don't need to be at a gala with, famous people. I don't need any of that stuff. I'm a pretty simple guy. And then just with family, like having my kids around. Like the other day, my daughter was at the gym with me. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
So maybe
do they
having
come
a little
to the
bit
gym
of that.
often with you?
Not often, just because it's hard with 3 when you're on your own.
Yeah.
You have to. They just want to come and play, and you can't do anything. But my daughter was helping on Sunday, so that was really cool.
That's I keep saying. I was like, Tatum, because 8:30 comes around. I'm like, 8:30 p.m. comes around. So I should go back and vacuum. I should go back and just tidy up a little bit. Back. I'm like, man, I can't wait till the day I can just give you $50 and you can slide over and do it yourself.
Well, I can't wait till the day I got 3 of them that can just run the business.
Yeah, that too. Like
3 managers. You guys can make whatever you want if you just believe in it. And they're like, I don't want to, Dad. I'm like, fine, you don't want it right now. But yeah, like the perfect day is definitely something that's simple. It's that security that you don't actually need to do anything.
Yeah, I agree.
Where then you get to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Because that's what it allows. It yields that when you get to that point. And I have days like that. Like I have a dream board at home that I wrote up 6 years ago, and I looked at it the other day, and it says #golf every day. I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
But it was like quit my day job.
For sure.
It was on there. And that's when I worked at TD, and I did.
Yeah.
Like I've accomplished like 7 out of 13 things on there.
To golf every day means a lot more than what a non-business owner would think that means. Like to be able to golf every day, that means like you don't have everything's basically running without you.
If you can do that, these guys are calling me a If you can make it to that level, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I know I will.
Yeah. Same. I mean, it's inevitable.
But at the same point, like that to me also means that I don't have to be there, but it doesn't mean that I don't want to be there.
Yeah, exactly.
So even if I could, I'll still be there.
Yeah.
Like I don't see myself, like I was joking the other day, I got 17 years until retirement, but I'm still going to be running a class.
Yeah.
At 55 years old. Will I be in shape? I don't know. I'm going to try. I'll probably do some fun stuff as I get older to keep me in shape. Because I'm not
challenges
competing.
And stuff. Yeah.
Oh, like I don't know. I'll probably dose something to keep some more muscle mass on my body. I don't know. Whatever. I'm not afraid of it. Not against or for it. Whatever. It is what it is. Serves a purpose. But if I get older, I'm not running a big comp or anything.
Do you have any like? I mean, even going on now or like in the future, like big like projects outside of the gym that you like would become? Yeah.
Can't really.
Yeah, sure, that's fine. Come back when it's out there.
It's not like outside the gym. It's still inside. Like the purchase of the building is something I'm putting in the universe. The development that I'm going to create. It's a wellness facility. Like I've always dreamed from the day I opened the doors. It's like I'm going to have a one-stop wellness shop.
Yeah, cool.
And that's the way it's going to be. And I've built it within my model now, but it's just not the size or capacity that I want to be able to grow and generate what it needs to. So the impact that I'm going to have just by being able to take over the existing building at some point. It's going to be pretty cool. But I'm putting all the things I really love into one spot.
Yeah.
And then the things that I don't love, I don't have in there.
Yeah. I mean, fuck, you're preaching to the choir.
Yeah. Like you've got this beautiful place up here, this chill room, and you turn it into a lounge, all that kind of stuff. It's great. I'm going to put like a hitting bay.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a golf sim with.
So to bring me to that, I tried to put one in here. The ceiling's not tall enough.
It's not.
So I'd have to take that. You'd have to put the swing. Your club, like, but now you're like
it's too tight
to the where the top of the window is right there would work, but now you're like playing with fire. Like if your buddy's standing a foot too close this way, it's gone.
No.
That was the first thing I tried to do up here is like, because the TV was here. It's like right here. How awesome would this be?
Sure, but I did that at my gym because I got 14-foot ceilings.
Exactly.
So I have a net, the hitting mat. I have a simulator.
So I need to put another floor on here in order to put a sim in here. So we got some work to do.
Yeah, this may not because you got the projector. I don't know if you can.
Yeah, it's not, or just
The thing about the golf swing though, when you're confined in a smaller space, even if it is enough clearance, you feel tight. Your swing changes
for sure.
So
I mean, no matter what, even
you're
like
feeling cramped. Yeah. So there's things like that I kind of am working on, and then honestly, I think the fitness demo fun thing could go viral.
Yeah, honestly, that's for sure. You never know what happens. Like even day to day, week to week, and it's like.
So that's kind of my goal, and then just keep growing.
Cool.
Yeah, man.
Anything else?
No, I appreciate having a venue like this. This is cool.
Yeah, no, check out your space. We'll see where I appreciate just like I'm trying to get on, like real guests and like,
we're all real.
No, but like
something special.
Yeah. I mean, I'm including you in real, and I'm not like, so hopefully, I
think one thing that makes it like we have a podcast too. We haven't really been
Actually, that's kind of what I wanted to ask you about too. Is like
we do protein sips.
Yeah.
So it's business, life, health. We kind of talk about everything. It's called protein sips. I got a guy on Fiverr to do a jingle for me.
Yeah.
So I paid for that. So we have the intro, outro jingle. We did it all the way to the
How
the
long have you
nines.
had it now?
We started it in the first lockdown.
Okay.
So we only have like 8 or 9 episodes, but I did have Jordan Syatt on.
Really?
Yeah, he's already been on my podcast.
Cool.
We didn't really pump it out yet, but it's out there. His episode is on there.
Have you asked a lot of people to come on?
No.
Okay.
I asked one, and it was him.
Really?
And I'm Michelle Kennedy, fitness.
Yeah.
So Michelle Kennedy, she's been on it. Who else has been on the show? Jill Best, she swam across Lake Ontario this past summer. So she raised money for like organ donation, transplants and stuff. So she's an organ transplant, she goes to the World Games.
Oh, cool.
She's a champion. She set world records. Her husband, Zach, is a trainer at my gym. So she's a natural guest to come on, but she's super accomplished and I look up to her. She's really cool. So we've had some cool people.
Do you do it? But would those people have sat across from you?
No, it was all pandemic, so it was just through Zoom.
Yeah, I guess you didn't even have a choice.
No, we just did it all through Zoom so far. We haven't done anything live yet, but there is works on that to get a space and stuff like that. And but yeah, Protein Sips is out there. We're 8 or 9 episodes.
Yeah, I listen to it. Yeah, yeah.
That's pretty cool. It's a nice way to just connect with people, right? And get your
That's like,
get your voice heard. Everybody just wants to talk and have someone listen.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's 100 or 10.
Same.
I don't care. My community, it's a value add to them. There's some good episodes that have gone out and stuff like that.
Well,
so
let me come on there then.
Yeah, we'll do a back and forth now. I'll bring you on mine.
I don't know if this is, man, I was so.
You'd be the perfect one because you have all the protein. We'll actually do a protein review. Protein Sips.
Just bring them all.
Just bring like 5 different kinds. We'll chug them all. We'll have an upset stomach. We'll talk about which one hurts, which one doesn't.
That's hilarious.
But I do have an idea that I think we could do, and maybe we won't bring it out to the world yet, but I think we should.
Sure, I'm in for whatever.
YouTube, something or other.
I'm in for whatever.
I'll talk to you on one off. I don't want to squeal the secret, but I think it could be good because YouTube's the way to go.
Yeah.
From an exposure standpoint, and if you do want to grow something, like Dave. Right?
Yeah,
and
for sure.
He does his Sniper.
Wild. So, yeah, it's
25,000 subs.
He, not to like take away from what you're saying, but he was like, Ian, can I do my podcast in your space up here? And I was like, yeah, for sure. Of course you can. Like anyone who's ever asked to use the space, for the record, you're more than welcome to ever use it. But I was like, oh man, I've always wanted to do one myself. Like maybe you do yours, I'll do mine too. It'll keep me a little bit more accountable. Sure. And he's like, man, just basically, you just got to put it up. So I put this on Spotify, YouTube. I put all the video on YouTube.
Yeah, cool.
And then the audio's on Spotify.
Yeah, Spotify,
iTunes.
Anchor, iTunes, all that stuff.
I just use Anchor. I think I got it from you.
Yeah, I use Anchor, but it loads them to everything, all the platforms, which is super simple.
Yeah. So he would
killing it.
Yeah. So I mean, just consistency and like doing it that way is like.
And showing them the care.
Yeah.
Whether because they're in the trading industry and whether they're successful, obviously success breeds success.
Yeah,
so they have to show really good trades and they're smart about it. And Ronnie's great. And I've learned from them a lot.
Right? Yeah,
yeah. Like I grew my account 400% with some of their tips. Right. So it's like, oh, okay. And now I'm chilling. The market's kind of wild for me right now and stressful.
Yeah.
So I kind of just.
I go on waves too with it. It's
You can't always. I haven't gone to the foreign exchange yet. I want to, but I haven't done it yet. But they're just always there.
Yeah.
They're always doing what they say they do, and now they're growing it to something else. And then I've chatted with him about supplements and even creating, trying to create my own and stuff like that and get some insight from him because he's in Believe pretty hardcore. And then you run your own shop too. So there's lots of ways that we could probably help each other and stuff. But it's just like bringing those people together.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you do really well. And now that you have this space, you can do it even more and hit the lane of fulfillment that way. Like that's where I'm focused on is what things fulfill me.
Yeah. Same.
Versus chasing the buck.
Yeah. 100%.
Am I the most successful in the world? No. Yeah. Do I have a ton of riches? No. But I have everything I need.
Man, we're living right now where we're comfortable in whatever our relative comfortableness is. And now we can do stuff that like does lead to those like stuff you can't predict.
Sure. Yeah.
It's like I can't.
Opportunities fall on you.
If this podcast makes me a millionaire one day, I could have never done it without working my ass off for 7 years in a row, having the gym, falling into this place, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So it's like, it just having the availability to do something that is stress-free and that you like is like honestly worth it all.
And that's when the greatest things are created.
Exactly.
People are passionate about something and they do it for nothing.
Yeah.
If you can work for free, you're doing the right thing.
Totally.
And that's it. So,
okay.
Cool, man.
Thanks for coming.
Appreciate it.
Oh,
Thank
you want to
you.
go through a walkthrough?
I'll do a walkthrough. Yeah.
Okay. Peace.